Good Saturday morning. Welcome to the Saturday Sports Page on a ugly, rainy, nasty Kentucky Derby Saturday. Beautiful in Louisville, though. I've already been up this morning checking the weather in Louisville.
You already
sunny,
there?
72, 73. No, I was up at 6 o'clock this morning watching the Today Show.
Okay.
7 o'clock Today Show. Louisville, the site of the 140th Kentucky Derby, goes off today at 6:24 is the estimated post time. Austin Statman Tapman joins me this morning. Also, a guy that knows nothing about sports, and it's obvious because instead of watching great NBA playoff games, he's been watching hockey. Ryan is with us as well.
Hockey is a great sport.
Hey, I will take his defense, Tom Schmitz.
So is bocce ball, but I'm not watching it on TV.
Well, obviously, you haven't played bocce ball.
I love bocce ball.
Then there
Bocce
you
ball is
go.
one of the greatest games ever. Not watching it on television.
Probably.
I don't even think it exists on television.
Oh, I do. I promise you, in Italy they got bocce ball on TV. Promise you.
ESPN Italia.
Yeah, the Ocho. That was so great in dodgeball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
ESPN the Ocho. The National Dodgeball Championships. A great night last night in the NBA, Austin.
Yes.
But let's start with a fact that is not debatable. Chandler Parsons forgot to play defense.
Yeah, 0.9 seconds left, Tom. You got a foul to give.
You pull his shorts off, you put a shoulder into his gut, you grab him by the arm, you drag him down by his shoes, whatever it takes. Damian Lillard is not touching the basketball.
And you think I guess Damian Lillard was just too slithery and snaky and just slipped by him. But, he got a decent shot. Yes, he was kind of fading and it was deep, but a wide open shot to end the game.
And
it was interesting that Chandler Parsons was on Damian Lillard. Obviously, you think that the length would affect him, but Damian Lillard was too quick for Chandler Parsons and got a shot up. After Chandler Parsons made the shot to put him up 2 points. Interesting. It was a ridiculous moment for Portland. But I was kind of mad because I was expecting all but two series going to Game 7.
This has never happened before where round one, so many Game 7s in round one. The Mavericks last night win to force a Game 7 back in San Antonio. As we said, Portland wins with Damian Lillard's 3 at the buzzer. That puts the Rockets out. Bye-bye, gone. No Game 7 there. But the West are beating up on each other pretty good. Does that bode well for a team that's sitting at the house in the East?
And naming the Miami Heat.
Dwayne Wade's knee said it feels better than it has in a long time in these playoffs. And they win in 4 games, and they're just sitting at the house resting.
Yeah, and you look at who they're going to play in the next round, and you're watching both of those teams play and thinking, how are either of these teams going to challenge the Miami Heat? And I don't see how.
Okay, here's the answer to that. They're not.
Yeah, so the Heat are basically a lock for the finals, really, but really a lock for the Eastern Conference Finals. And there's nobody else in the top of that bracket that I see even coming close to competing with Miami Heat. And they've been sitting at home resting for three or 4 days now.
It's just amazing to me the way everybody talks about the Heat. But, they could be vulnerable. This could be the year that they get unseated. But all they did is just walk through a Charlotte team that they were supposed to walk through. I thought Charlotte would win 1 game. They didn't even win 1 game. Made it competitive for a couple games. I thought Indiana would walk through the Hawks. Well, we know that's going to a Game 7. I thought the Bulls had a good chance of getting through. Well, the Bulls are at the house as well, but not resting. They're just done.
They're done.
They got the golf
They
bags.
couldn't score.
And Brooklyn and Toronto, this is the game last night is the Brooklyn team that you thought should have been, that was going to be the Brooklyn team throughout the season. Last night you thought Brooklyn was the 3 seed, not the 6 seed.
Right. I mean, last night's game, this whole series between Brooklyn and Toronto just kind of epitomizes Brooklyn's season. I mean, they're a very good basketball team when they want to be a very good basketball team, but they're not all there all the time. So you have a young Toronto Raptors team that has terrific athletic guards, DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, that go on runs where the Nets can't defend, and all of a sudden you got a 3-3 series.
What is going on in Dallas and San Antonio?
You know what? I think Dallas
Is it just a matchup problem for San Antonio?
I think that's what it is. I mean, Dallas obviously isn't a bad basketball team. They beat number 3 in the East. And I think they just present matchup problems. And I think what we're seeing, I think the Spurs and the Mavericks series is very, very similar to the Thunder and the Grizzlies because these two teams have seen each other so much over the past few seasons, and they know exactly what they're going to do, and it's all just about who is going to execute when and who's going to make the last shot, who's going to have the ball last. And I think that both the Spurs obviously aren't bad or worse than they were in the regular season. It's just that this Mavericks team has seen them so many times, they just know their number. But I think the Spurs win Game 7 at home. I don't see the Mavericks coming in and winning.
I don't either. The only problem with that, Dirk Nowitzki in a Game 7 is almost always money. Go look at his record. If you go look, I think he's lost like 1 Game 7 in his career.
Oh, no doubt he's definitely terrific at Game 7s, but
And he's got, everybody thought you stopped Dirk Nowitzki, you stopped the Mavericks. Well, Monte Ellis is playing out of sight. And then the geriatric man, Vince Carter, who
Yeah.
I thought was, in a retirement home somewhere.
seems like he's never going to go away.
He's hitting 3-pointers that are just as crazy as what happened in the Portland game last night to win basketball games.
And it was interesting. I was watching a couple games back of him in a game, and I'm thinking, man, he looks like an old guy. So I went back and watched a few YouTube videos of back in his heyday with the Raptors and other teams like that. And it's so interesting to see how he's kind of evolved his game to match his growing or his getting old body. And it's crazy that he could still compete at such a high level and still be a serviceable guy for this Mavericks team. I think that was a great find for the Mavericks.
There was about 4 or 5 years where Vince Carter may have been the best player in the NBA, except for the greatest player in the NBA was still in the NBA at the time.
Right. And there's a lot of players like that, but Vince Carter was definitely one.
Yeah, Vince Carter, very good basketball player. And age has caught up with him, but he's still serviceable for what the Mavericks need. So they're going back to San Antonio. I really don't see Dallas winning this basketball game, though.
No, I mean, it's going to be close. The Dallas isn't going to go away, but there's something about the Spurs that you got to think that they're going to do everything they need to do. They're going to execute all that they need to do, and they're going to be tough, mentally tough, down the stretch of the last few minutes. And I think the stars for the Spurs, if you will, Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, they've all been playing fairly well. Obviously, Manu's up and down, and he's kind of crazy, but the supporting cast, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, they've kind of struggled early in the series, and I think those couple guys are going to be key. Patty Mills is another one. Those couple guys are going to be key for them winning that game.
I think, though, that the Spurs have showed they're vulnerable to matchup issues.
Certainly. And I think Portland, who they would face,
present some
yes.
matchup problems for San Antonio.
Yes.
So I think the West is very intriguing, and I think the East is what we thought it was. Miami's to lose.
Yeah, and I think that the Washington Wizards could possibly will get to the Eastern Conference Finals because they're going to play either a really bad Hawks team or a really good Pacers team that's playing really bad.
Did you think you'd ever say before the season started, when the season was going on, that the Washington Wizards could be in the Eastern Conference Finals?
No way. I mean, 2 guards. Bradley Beal is new to the league. John Wall, And you've said all the time, yeah, John Wall was a great college basketball player, but nobody hears about him at the Wizards.
Nobody.
Well, now everybody's hearing about him because they're terrific. They have a terrific backcourt. Trevor Ariza is a X factor that could come in and light you up like he did in Game 4 of the series. And then you got a couple big guys down low, in Nene and Marcin Gortat that sometimes play together. And I think Nene is a really underrated big because in that series against the Bulls, he was kind of beating Joakim Noah at Joakim Noah's game. They were kind of running the offense through Nene at times at the point center spot where they do for the Bulls, and then they can step back and hit that jumper, and he can go in and bang down low because he's so big and so physical. So I think Washington has a good chance.
I don't think because that presents a matchup problem for Roy Hibbert. If Indiana, in fact, beats the Hawks.
Roy Hibbert is his own matchup problem.
Right now he is. It's almost like Roy Hibbert's got mental issues going on right now. It's not his basketball acumen. It's his head isn't on straight.
Yeah.
And I once again, I go back to Larry Bird thinking that making a trade for Evan, what's his last name? Evan Turner, and getting rid of Danny Granger. I think Danny Granger was the glue that held that clubhouse together.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's 20/20. Obviously, at the time, you think you're trading an older player, with more miles on him for a younger guy, more athleticism, can add more to the team. But in terms of chemistry, Danny Granger, I think, was their boy, and now that he's gone.
You never heard Stevenson and Granger getting in a fight in the locker room.
No, because all those guys put in the time when the Pacers weren't the number one seed in the East. They weren't the Indiana Pacers to challenge the Miami Heat. They put in all their time together. Danny Granger was there, Paul George, Lance Stevenson. And now that they're there and a young gun comes in, I think that caused tremendous rifts in the locker room. And we heard reports that Evan Turner and Lance Stevenson were getting in fisticuffs after Game 1 of the series or Game 2 of the series. I mean, you're having internal problems when you need to be coming together the most.
I agree with you totally. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we've got 2 more basketball games to talk about. The Oklahoma City Thunder and the Memphis Grizzlies, albeit a Memphis Grizzlies team that will be down a man, which I think is a little, I don't know. It's one of those gray areas, I think, but this is not a gray area because the rules say exactly that if you do this. And the game that everybody is talking about, but all because of Donald Sterling, the Warriors and the Clippers, Game 7. It is Game 7. Game 7.
Yes.
Game 7, the Warriors and the Clippers. The Warriors have a shot at closing the Clippers out in L.A., and I'll tell you why when we come back from the break. You're listening to the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Renstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hello, everybody. This is Trey Bradshaw of Fox NFL Sunday. Whenever I'm in Ocala, if I'm not digging and singing with my buddy Mel Tillis, then I'm listening to my longtime friend, Buddy Martin. Of course, I rarely get to Ocala, so if you believe that, I've got some horses I'd like to sell you. Some of them even have 4 legs. Regardless, I highly recommend you listen to Buddy Martin's Sports Page weekdays at 5 p.m. right here on The Source. Not as much, of course, as I recommend that you come to my own show currently playing around America. Terry Bradshaw, America's favorite dumb blonde, a wife and 4 quarters. I'm telling you, folks, it's a scream.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, the new old-fashioned bank. Let us introduce you to Ocus, a simple way to bring your business online. Through this relationship, your business can have a fully functioning website in less than 30 minutes. We will also provide you support with social media, sales tracking, e-commerce, and online scheduling, which is all optimized for mobile users. Ocus, now at Gateway Bank, Silver Springs Boulevard, Ocala. Come visit our technology center for your total small business solution. I'm Tom Ingram, and I'll see you there.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies, Gifts, and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies, Awards, and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies, Awards, and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Your official news source, WOCA.
When you're holding everything together for me, the way you rebuild me, the way that you feel me, the way you know I'm holding something inside. Don't know what time has.
We're back on the Saturday Sports Page. I'm Tom Schmitz along with Austin Tatman and Ryan. He's not important enough for me to even know his last name yet. So
Thanks.
Goldberg.
yeah, that's right. The professional. His kid is a professional wrestler. That's right. Forgot about that. Goldberg. It's a good name.
It's a great name.
It's a good name. It's not Tatman, but it's close. You know. San Antonio, we talked about how they should handle Dallas. Then you get to the 2-7 matchup. The OK City Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Memphis Grizzlies. And this is going to a Game 7. And it's matchup problems again for OKC that's led to a Game 7. But the Memphis Grizzlies leading scorer, Zach Randolph, will not be a participant. Austin, I saw the punch, if you want to call it that, or the shove to the face or whatever. Was it the right call suspending him a game?
By the letter of the law, I think it is. Because once again, we talked about yesterday
Leaving
about
the bench, but the vicinity.
The vicinity. It's a
And
great
they were in the
area.
vicinity.
And I think that this is the same situation where the league kind of has discretion on what they need, what they want to do, and they felt that he should be suspended. But, I mean, we talk about not suspending a player for the greater good of the game, but Zach Randolph is
Their leading scorer.
their leading scorer and a big part of the team. So I think that the league kind of went the opposite way than they did in the other case with Paul George and the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, you know, conspiracy theorists will say they didn't throw Paul George out, suspend Paul George a game because Indiana needs to beat Atlanta for ratings and everything, and they threw Zach Randolph out because OKC needs to win because of Kevin Durant.
Of course.
That's what conspiracy theorists are going to tell you.
Of course. But regardless, I mean, I think it was the right call, but I think that this severely hurts, obviously, the Memphis Grizzlies.
I think Memphis has no chance to win now.
It's going to be hard because Mike Conley's going to be struggling with that hamstring that he tweaked late in the third quarter. Now Zach Randolph's out. And
Where did Randolph go to college?
I want to say USC.
Was it USC he went to school? And here's the thing with Zach Randolph. You can't do what he did.
Michigan State.
You got to understand where you are in a Game 6 and you're needed in a Game 7. while I understand people are upset and that it was kind of a punch, kind of just a push in the face, whatever you want to say, really wasn't that big a deal. There was a lot of acting that went on. You got to understand when you're the leading scorer on your team and you're one of the leading people on your team, you got to understand where you are and what it means if you do something like Zach Randolph did.
Especially this late in the series, and you're completely correct. You're Zach Randolph. You're one of the key cogs to that Memphis Grizzlies team, and I think you could have won the series. But now
this isn't like Birdman punching somebody for the Heat.
No, and give credit to Birdman. He does have a role on the Miami Heat. He is needed for Miami Heat, but he's not Zach Randolph for the Memphis Grizzlies. So if Memphis was completely 100% with all their guys, I would think that the Thunder would need a terrific game from Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook like they had in Game 6 to beat the Memphis Grizzlies. But I think that the Thunder win a series, no doubt.
I think that the Memphis Grizzlies, with Zach Randolph being suspended, have no shot at winning Game 7. And then we come to the game that I really feel sorry for the Golden State Warriors in. Because the emotions of the week where the LA Clippers owner, Donald Sterling, was banned for life from the NBA, fined $2.5 million for racist remarks he made that were taped and broke last weekend. Now it's like us against the world, and the good guys are the LA Clippers, the players and Doc Rivers. They're the good guys. And the Golden State Warriors kind of get clumped into the bad guys.
Yeah, you're right, and it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. But
they're all the same, and it just so happens that the Golden State Warriors are playing the Clippers at the time. But you're right, it shouldn't be like that.
But there is a problem the Clippers have. Emotion only gets you so far. And mentally, this week has had to be a drain on the LA Clippers. The highs and lows of this week, you just wonder when their batteries are going to run out. And the thing is, Chris Paul and Blake Griffin both have had a little foul trouble in this series.
Chris Paul is dealing with 3 or 4 different injuries as well. He's had his hand looked at. He's had a hamstring problem. He's had a little tweak here, a tweak there. He's obviously going to play, but he's not been 100% for a while now.
I think that Golden State could win this basketball game because of all the emotions of the week, the highs and the lows. Eventually, your emotions get the best of you and you become lethargic and tired. Do I think that's going to happen to the Clippers? I don't necessarily know that it would happen in this game, but it is a real possibility. This is the biggest, to me, this Clippers-Golden State game is the one that I have the biggest trouble in thinking who's going to win the basketball game. I think San Antonio is going to win. I think Oklahoma City is going to win. We know that Portland won. I don't know who's going to win this Golden State game, this Golden State Clippers game.
I'm completely with you. If I had to choose, I would go with the home team and a team that's has home court advantage. But like you said, and I don't know if I buy into completely the fact that they have had emotional struggles and that's going to slow them down. I think Doc Rivers has the ability to pull that group together and kind of have them focus on, this is Game 7, we need to win this game. But I mean, I don't know. If I had to choose, I would definitely go with the Clippers, but it's a toss-up. I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to come down to who makes the least timely mistake and who has the ball last.
I think that's exactly what it's going to be like. And don't forget, David Lee is a pretty good basketball player for the Golden State Warriors. Golden State's got a pretty good basketball team.
Yeah.
And these are two teams, again, that know each other very well, play each other a lot.
And don't like each other.
Don't like each other.
If you remember back to the Christmas game where they played in the Christmas game, each team that played in the Christmas game, each game together, they usually go to a church service together on a Saturday, And basically, the Golden State Warriors refused to go with the Clippers. And obviously, we've heard incidents where Mark Jackson's gotten into verbal agreements with Blake Griffin. And then you had the incident in game 1 or 2 of the series where Blake Griffin threw water on the Golden State Warriors fan. So these two teams don't like each other, but I think that makes for good basketball, and especially all the other storylines that go along with it.
I think it does, and it's the one game that I think is the hardest to call for me. But I'm going to take a flyer and say Golden State wins this basketball game. I believe the emotions of the week and everything, and then 2020 last night and everything, which we hadn't talked about, I think Golden State wins this basketball game.
Well, and the Clippers had a chance to close the series in Golden State, and they didn't. They lost 100-99, so that kind of hurts them as well. And they were right there in Golden State, and now they got to go play another whole game back at home. But I don't know. It's a toss-up. I'm going with the Clippers.
Okay. It's now time to play Open or Don't Open. Do we have our sound stuff? There we go. Open or don't open. Do you know how we play this, Ryan?
No, I don't.
I'm going to read a headline, and you and Austin will vote the three of us will vote whether we open it or don't open it.
All right, that sounds like it's easy enough.
The 3 headlines are: Kaepernick investigation has changed me. Ryan, open or don't open?
I would say don't open.
Austin, open or don't open?
I want to know how it changed him. Go ahead and open that.
Yeah, I'm going to open that one too. I'm going to open it as well.
I'm assuming this is an investigation involving the girl in Miami. The TMZ reported.
It is.
It's kind of sad that we have to ask which investigation it is.
It really is sad. You're right.
Is.
San Francisco's quarterback Colin Kaepernick said Friday he's changed my way of thinking in the wake of an ongoing police investigation in Miami involving himself and 2 other players. As you know, police are investigating what they describe as a suspicious incident involving Kaepernick, 49ers receiver Quentin Patton, and Seattle Seahawks receiver Ricardo Lockett. First off, why are receivers from the 49ers and the Seahawks hanging out together?
Don't they love each other?
Those are rivals. Why are they hanging out together?
Yeah, that's a good question.
A Miami police spokesman said this week there's no update on the investigation. Kaepernick, who's speaking publicly for the first time, said the incident in front of nearly 1,000 people at Turlock Mayor's prayer breakfast on Friday morning. I've learned from what he said he's learned from what he called a bad circumstance. It's been put out that I did something wrong. Even though it's a bad circumstance, a bad situation, I feel like ultimately I've been blessed because it's changed my way of thinking. It's made me stronger. It's made me look at things differently. Here's what you should look at differently: not putting yourself in situations that could be deemed a suspicious incident. How about that?
Yeah, I think this is just a whole bunch of mess made about nothing. I mean, the report was that he was in a bathroom holding down a girl, blah, 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 when really it was just nothing. And it sounds like
That's the way it looks like now.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be nothing.
Right.
Okay, next story on open or don't open. Jags GM surprised if Blackman plays in 2014. Open or don't open?
Yeah,
Ryan?
open that. I want to know why.
Austin says open. Ryan?
I guess. Yeah, open it.
See, I would have voted not to open it just because who cares about the Jags?
Well, you just got to have that sympathy feel for them.
The Jacksonville Jaguars aren't sure what, if anything, they'll get from suspended wide receiver Justin Blackman, so they're making plans to be without him. General Manager David Caldwell said Friday at the team's annual pre-draft media luncheon the team is not counting on any production for Blackman, who's serving an indefinite suspension after violating the league's substance abuse policy a 3rd time. It would be something that would be relatively surprising. Haven't gotten a whole lot of updates from the league, where he's at, or from Justin. To be honest with you, we just don't know anything.
Does that surprise you at all?
Not a bit.
Neither does me.
And I don't think the league's in any hurry to put Blackman back in the game.
No, I mean, he's just done this multiple times. Seems like he's not learning from his problem, and the league's not going to rush to help him.
All right. Finally, I don't even know why I'm asking open or don't open. I know the answer already. V. Stiviano, Sterling not a racist in my heart.
Yes, open that.
There's no chance we're not opening that.
I love this.
Stiviano was the mistress to Donald Sterling.
But you're saying he was an honest man before?
The headline on top of this story says, Sterling, I wish I'd have just paid her off. Wow. On a day when a magazine quoted banned LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling as saying, I wish I'd have just paid her off, V. Stiviano, the woman behind the audio tape in which he made disparaging racial remarks. This is according to ESPN.com. Stiviano, interviewed Friday night by ABC's Barbara Walter on 2020, twice told Barbara Walters during the interview that Sterling should apologize. Asked if she thought Sterling would apologize. Only God knows, she said. Sterling talked to Walters on Friday. Stiviano, the woman Sterling was talking to on the recording, Sterling didn't speak with Walters. She characterized Sterling's current state of mind as confused, adding that, I think he feels very alone, not truly supported by those around him, tormented, emotionally traumatized. I'm with him in a state of where I want to help him, urging him to come to his own rescue. But even so, I think he feels he's alone. I do not feel that Donald is a racist, despite hearing say derogatory things about minorities. I don't believe that in my heart. I think the things he says are not what he feels. Anybody can say anything in the heat of the moment. I think Donald is from a different generation than I am. I think he was brought up to believe those things, segregation, white and blacks. That is the words of V. Stiviano on a 2020 interview with Barbara Walters.
I bet she's a great.
What?
I bet she's a
The
great.
more that
conversation.
we hear,
Aren't you the one that taped the conversation in the first place?
and we heard everything she said in the conversation, trying to get him to say that he was and to point out all the ways that he was, and now she wants to come out after the fact and save face. Come on.
I do not believe Donald is a racist, despite hearing him say derogatory things about minorities. I don't believe that in my heart. I think the things he says are not what he feels. Anybody can say anything in the heat of the moment. I think Donald is from a different generation than I am. I think he was brought up to believe those things, segregation, whites and blacks.
Everywhere you look in that situation is just absolutely ridiculous and terrible.
Does she get paid for that interview?
I don't know.
Because if she does, if she's doing it for money, then if she's getting paid, because if she agrees with everybody, then no one's going to want to talk to her.
There was a famous quote. I don't remember who said it. You look it up for me, Austin. It says, "It's better to be thought dumb. It's better to be thought an idiot than open your mouth and remove all doubt." V. Stiviano, it's better to be thought an idiot than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
I agree.
Mark Twain, it is better to keep your mouth closed and let people think you are a fool than to open it and remove all doubt.
Exactly.
Mark Twain.
She needs a lesson from Mark Twain.
Oh, he's a different generation than her, though.
I know, exactly. That brings to a close, open or don't open. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Terry Bradshaw joined Buddy Martin earlier this week. Man, wait till you hear this. There wasn't, I mean, my stomach hurt laughing during this interview. It was so good. Terry Bradshaw of Fox Sports Sunday, football on Fox on Sunday, 4-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Fame quarterback of the NFL, Terry Bradshaw. Interview him and Buddy Martin had earlier this week. We're going to play that for you next, right here on the Saturday Sports page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
For more information, call the McDonald Agency at 352-622-2333 or visit us online at themcdonaldagency.com.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Are you in the process of planning your wedding reception? Or are you planning that birthday party for someone special? Or maybe you're just looking to throw a party for yourself? Are you in charge of this year's company outing and looking for something fresh and fun to do? Well, KT Entertainment is your answer to all those questions. We provide music, trivia, and karaoke for everybody's enjoyment. If you would like to get in touch with KT Entertainment and find out about our competitive prices, call us at 352-512-2611. That's 352-512-2611. Or you can find us on the web at kt4fun.com. That's KT, the number 4, fun.com. So remember, whether it's a wedding reception, a party, or a company outing, it's KT Entertainment for all your karaoke, trivia, or musical needs.
And then she took my hand, and I said, yeah, yeah.
We're back on the Saturday Sports Page. Earlier this week, Terry Bradshaw, Hall of Fame quarterback, and one of the hosts of Fox NFL Sundays, joined Buddy Martin. Here's Terry Bradshaw.
Let me get a quick question on football in here. You watch a couple of these guys play. I have one of my guys here, Tom James, want to ask you a question about a quarterback, how you like him and what you think of him, okay?
Okay, cool.
Terry, it's Tom James. Pleasure to talk to you today. I can't wait to hear your answer to this and your thoughts on Johnny Manziel, a guy that is a spark plug, kind of a lightning rod figure, got a great big personality and a big game to boot. What are your thoughts on Johnny Manziel?
Absolutely love him. Absolutely love him. He's a guy I'd hate to spend a first round on, but, someone will probably. But, boy, I love this guy. I don't have a problem with his personality because he's true to himself. And as long as you're true to yourself and you're comfortable in your skin, knock yourself out. I know he rubs some folks wrong, but he doesn't rub me wrong. I just take it for what it is, man. I'm a Joe Namath fan. Yeah. I love Joe. I wanted to be like Joe Namath. I just didn't have the you-know-whats to be like that. I wasn't comfortable in my skin like Joe and Johnny are, but I love Manziel. I wish he was 6'4". I wish he weighed 220 because you're going to get hurt in this league, man. But, golly, is he fun to watch.
I'm with you on that, and I think he reminds you of name. Here's a guy, by the way, just called in. Hold on a second. Somebody wants to talk to you, Terry. Hello?
Yeah. Hello? Are you with the Duck Dynasty? Hello? Melvin! Hey, boy! What are you fishing?
What's going on? I'm alive. I had the trip of a four-page bypass.
Well, your skin is real,
and I'm still alive.
Well, your wife needs to stop feeding you all that fried food. That stuff will kill you, man. Mel called me. I'm doing great, Mel. I was about to tell him Mel and I did a TV movie called The Stalkers. And we were all excited because Mel wanted to be an actor and I wanted to be with Mel because we had done Cannonball Run together and become buddies. And And I'm sitting there with Ernest Borgnine and his wife, who said, "Can we come up to your room and watch the Stalkers?" Well, when he got there and they started playing this movie, I said, "Oh my God, this is horrible." The sound was bad. Everything was bad. Oh, and Ernest was so sweet. He said, "Man, you a lot of talent, great chemist." He said all the right things, made me feel good. Phone rings. I pick up the phone. There's somebody on the other end of the line, and he's going, well, and I cover the phone. I say, "It's Tillis." And so Borgnine is listening for it, and Mel's going, Hoss, he wouldn't have gone with the wind. God, the dog just floored me.
Yeah, that's the last one we made together, I think.
America missed out on Abbott and Costello. That's all I got to say.
How about Cannonball Run now? Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run, yeah, he was my buddy in that, yeah. I remember one time we run off in the swimming pool with our car, and we come up, and they had to do 2 takes on it. And we come up, and I come up beside a Terry. I had a big old green Louis hanging out my nose. That's all looked at me, and I can't tell you what he said. And the old director said, "Cut."
I got one even better than that.
I got a good one about the hot tub, but I ain't going to tell him that.
Oh, no. Yeah. Mel says, let's go to the ranch and rehearse for our big opening scene tomorrow. I said, all right. His wife's going to cook the dinner, and we'll pull some chairs up, pretend like we're in a car, and we'll do. Mel had lines. I didn't have any lines other than okay. So we pull the chairs side by side. I'm practicing driving my race car. Mel's over there. "Well, Hoss," and there's a cop chasing us. "Hey, he's hot on our ass. Hey, we got to get rid of this guy. Hey, I know where we can hide. Quick, turn in here by the hotel. We'll hide out back." And so we did it. He had it down perfect. We get on the plane. He had a little Beechcraft C90 or 200 called the Stuttering One.
It was A100.
Okay, A100. So we get on the A100 Stuttering One, back down to Atlanta. They pick us up. We get in the makeup wardrobe. They put us in the race car. They hook the camera truck up. The director, Hal Needham, sitting on the back of the truck. They stop all the morning traffic in Atlanta. Tillis has got his lines down perfect. Cops chasing. Action. Down the highway we go. Mel goes, "Hey, that cop's hot on our ass. We got to get rid of him. Quick, I know where we can hide. Turn in up here and we'll hide in behind this cheap hotel." Boom, we pull in. I looked at Mel. Mel looked at me, and I went, "Wow, that was perfect." He was so proud of himself. I was proud for him, not one stutter. All right, here comes Needham off the director's truck. Taps on Mel's window. Mel rolls the window down, waiting for a way to go. "Fantastic. You are an amazing actor." Needham goes, "Hey, Tillis, I can get any 2-bit actor in Hollywood to deliver those lines. I brought your ass in here to stutter. And if you don't start stuttering, I'm going to replace you." Well, that's Florida. So they drive us back. 5 hours.
Burt Reynolds did the same thing to me in a WW and the Dixie Dance Kings. He said, "I brought you in here to stutter." I said, "Hell, I don't stutter. I'm trying to quit."
Mel, I watched, Melvin, you ain't gonna believe this. I watched WW and the Dixie Dance Kings while I was working out today. Funny, man. Anyway, it took us 5 hours to shoot that sequence because Mel couldn't even get. He said, "Hey, there's he's on our cut." 5 hours holding up traffic. I never laughed so hard.
Hey, Mel, let me jump in here a minute. I appreciate y'all both being on, but what do you think of Bradshaw's cutting in on your business here with this new show he's got going on, trying to steal your act, man? I don't know what's going on with that. You heard about that?
What new show?
Oh, you don't know about this show, huh?
No.
America's Favorite Dumb Blonde. He's touring the country to packed houses, and he and his daughter Rachel are knocking them dead.
Oh, his daughter, yeah. She went to school with my daughter, my baby daughter, and they graduated together at
Belmont.
Belmont University, and the last time that I ran into Terry, and his mother was there, and I got to see old Terry, and we talked a little bit. But that's great. I didn't know about that. I knew that his daughter could write and sing, but I haven't heard her. But my daughter, Hannah, she said that she's really, really good.
That's great. Listen, I want to ask you real straight. Mel, let me ask you straight up.
And old Terry needs all the help he can get.
That was my next question. Now, I want you to critique Terry's singing. You know, you're a Hall of Famer. You know, you've written all these songs. You perform. You got all these hit records. Give me an assessment of Terry Bradshaw's ability as a singer.
Well, I'll tell you what, he came out to visit me at the Frontier Hotel. I was out there, I guess, for 18 or 19 weeks in a row. And he came out, and I put him on stage. And that was the funniest thing. He was going to sing I was lonesome I could cry, I think it was. And his leg wouldn't stop moving. He was just shaking, and that damn leg wouldn't stop.
Buddy, that was not, he did that for laughs. He didn't do that because he really wanted me to showcase my vocals. I get a call at 4:30 in the morning. Mel's in one room, I'm in the room next to him. Phone rings at 4:30 a.m. Frank Sinatra has sent his yellow caddy sedan to pick me and Melvin up. He wants to have a drink. 4:30 in the morning. Mel, you remember? We went.
Oh, yeah,
I woke you up.
Yeah, I remember he called us up. I came off stage, and he said, no, I wasn't off stage. I was just in my dressing room, and somebody said, hey, Mel, said Frank Sinatra's on the phone. I said, no, he ain't done. It is. And I said, hello? Hello, Mel. I said, yes. He said, Frank, hey, let's go. He said, would you like to go belt a few? You know, that's the northern language. That ain't southern. Belt a few. Anyway, I said, yeah, we went. So me and Bradshaw went, and we hung out with him a couple hours down there. And, you know, I did, the whole time that I was out there, he'd call every other night or something, and I'd go down there and entertain him, make him laugh.
So, remember, I people ask me, what was that nightlife? And I said, well, he had a balcony, remember, Mel? And it overlooked the whole place, and he drank Jack Daniels. And so Frank drinks Jack, you drink Jack. I'd never tasted liquor in my life, but I drank Jack with Frank Sinatra. So that's I've sung with Mel Tillis. Jack Daniels.
Yeah, he drank Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
That was Terry Bradshaw and Mel Tillis talking about Johnny Manziel, and then Mel and Terry you just turn the mic on and say go.
Yeah, we all turned everybody mics off in here and just listened, and it was the funniest hour of radio I've ever been a part of.
Like Banyan said on Seinfeld, it's gold, Jerry, gold.
Yes. We could replay that forever. It'd be great.
And it'd be great. We're going to take a break. When we come back, it's time to talk the ponies. I'm going to give you the best bet you could make if you really want to make a lot of money today. We'll talk about that next right here on the Saturday Sports Page, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Mother of all Mother's Day drawing coming up next Wednesday. And Don Pardo, tell them what they win.
You can win a all-expense-paid trip to the properties to get a cut, color, and style. Classes at KMF Fitness. You can also win an all-expense-paid trip for 4 for dinner at Eaton's Beach. Sandbar and Grill.
There you go.
You can also win 4 tickets to the historic Marion Theater.
Four of them.
2 rounds of golf to the Ocala Golf Club. $50 gift certificate to Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood.
Too much here? I mean,
$50 gift certificate to Mojo's Grill and Catering Company.
how about this Sunday Mother's Day thing?
No. There's 2 tickets to Symphony Under the Stars. And for the mother who gets all of that, so she doesn't have time to clean the house, there's a $125 gift card to 2 brooms and a mop for a house cleaning.
Get out of here.
All that can be yours in the mother of all Mother's Day giveaways right here from Proper Tees, Kinetic Motion Fitness, and the voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin on The Source.
You know, Austin, I'm sitting here at the computer looking at our Facebook page, and boy, we really need to tell more listeners about our Facebook page.
No, Tom. So you got it all wrong. Twitter is the new age.
What's a tweeter?
No, a Twitter, Tom. The voice of Ocala has a Twitter.
We do? Well, how do we tell our listeners about that?
All they have to do is get the Twitter app or go to twitter.com, type in Voice of Ocala in the search box, and click follow.
All right. Well, what's the tweeter do?
The Voice of Ocala's Twitter page updates all of its followers on the latest news, guests, giveaways, and contests.
Oh, okay. But couldn't listeners just tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 to 1370 AM and 96.3 FM, or even go to online at WOCA.com? Wouldn't that be easier?
Yeah, okay, maybe.
We're back on the Saturday Sports page. Time to talk Kentucky Derby. Give you some picks from the experts. Michael Compton Jr., who writes for Blood Sport, he picked Chateau, Medal Count, and Dances with Fate.
Chateau,
however you say it. Augie Griner Jr., who came in earlier this week, he picked California Chrome, Wicked Strong, and Danza. I pored over this for hours. What is California Chrome odds right now, Austin?
Right now, according to KentuckyDerby.com racing wagering, California Chrome 2-1.
2-1. Where's Wicked Strong?
Wicked Strong is 7-1.
And Danza?
Danza is 10-1.
All right, so that's a pretty good ticket Augie had.
Yes.
I have Wicked Strong at, you said 7-1.
7-1.
Wildcat Red, an Ocala bred horse.
16-1.
And Samrat.
Samrat. Samrat. 14-1.
So, that's a pretty good ticket. Uncle Si, where's he going off at?
27-1.
27-1. And Buddy had Wildcat Red, Dances with Fate. Where's Dances with Fate?
Dance with Fate, 14-1.
And Wicked Strong, of course, is 7-1.
7-1.
So all those are very good bets.
Wildcat Red, 16-1.
But the best bet that there is,
mine,
Austin Tapman. If you want to make some money, folks, this is the ticket. A $2 bet on these 3 horses. Harry's Holiday,
39-1.
Uncle Si,
27-1.
Vince Ramos,
51-1.
If that ticket comes in, that is going to need an IRS ticket. You're not just going to go collect that at the window, folks. You'll go pay with your license and everything. There'll be some taxes taken out of that. So the Kentucky Derby goes off today at 6:24. Let me give you the experts' picks again. Michael Compton, well, I'll say expert, Augie Griner Jr. and Michael Compton, they know a lot more about horses than anybody else that we talk to, mainly me, you, and Buddy.
Yes.
Michael Compton had Chateau, Medal Count, and Dances with Fate. Augie Griner Jr. had California Chrome, the favorite, Wicked Strong, and Danza.
Now, I don't know much about the Kentucky Derby, but it seems like there is, and I understand there's races that go around it, races before, races after, but it seems like there is so much hype and so much that goes into it. And then the race happens and it's over.
Fastest 2 minutes in sports.
I mean, it's built up, and obviously it is for a reason.
By 6:24 this afternoon, I'll be at Ocala Breeder Sales. By 6:24 this afternoon, the energy in that room will almost power light bulbs. There'll be so much electricity in that room waiting for that gate to pop and them horses to come out. And then for 2 minutes, all hell breaks loose.
And then it's over. It's like
and then either people are happy or people are cussing and throwing their tickets on the ground and walking out. But literally, the build up and then the crescendo, it's like a great orchestra. You know how a great orchestra, towards that final number, they build you up, and they bring it up, and the cymbals are going and everything. And
That's
it's just
like
very loud. And
and
then the conductor stops, and then it's just dead silent. That is how the Kentucky Derby is on a Saturday, on Derby Day. The day builds and builds and builds, and then the gates open, and then you hear the guy calling the race saying, down the stretch they come, and people are screaming and hollering, and it's a great time, and then you're done. And you're exhausted.
For the 2 minutes that they race.
But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
These horses and these people and so many people surrounding the sport train and put so much into it.
You see how much horses sell for.
Yes.
These horses sell at the 2-year-old sale here that just happened in April. The horses that sold at the 2-year-old sale here last month here in Ocala, some of them may be Derby runners next year. So it's an amazing sport. I'm glad that we're part of it here in horse country with Ocala, and I love it every year. The first weekend of May every year is just, that Saturday's great. So I can't wait for it. I'm going to OBS. I'm going to put down a ticket. But I'm definitely betting Harry's Holiday, Uncle Si, and Vince Aramis.
What's that?
If it comes in, we may call into work Monday.
Austin, remember that one time I did that one favor for you?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, for Austin Statman Tapman and for Ryan, I'm Tom Schmidt saying have a great weekend, everybody.
Men, do you know your testosterone level? Are you experiencing decreased energy levels or unusual sleeping problems? Have you noticed you have less strength or endurance, decreased sex drive, increased irritability or depression? If so, you may be experiencing problems with low testosterone. If you're interested in a free testosterone screening, please call Rinstar Medical Research at 352-629-5800. Again, that number is 352-629-5800.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.